Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Sunday. All right, guys. Well, we're back to talk about Teresa Giudice, who is calling out the bloggers and the fans. This one's interesting, but her ex-husband, Joe Giudice, is also calling out the United States government. This will be an interesting one to talk about. Guys, yesterday we took off for Saturday. There wasn't a whole lot that came out, but thank God overnight things did. Of course, like Selena Gomez getting married, but we're only here to talk about Bravo. Tomorrow we have hot, messy topics, and then we also get the premiere episode of Below Deck. And then this week we have so many great things. We get to see the continuation of whatever happened with Tamra and Gretchen Rossi. I'm curious to see how that plays out. And then on top of that, we get part 1 of the Real Housewives of Miami reunion, which I believe the bombshell that we've been waiting for is in part 1. So smash the like button, show some love, and let's jump right in. Okay, so I always like when we get sort of like a recap from housewives about like their time on the show, their regrets, um, things that they would do differently, things that they're happy that they did, and things that they would change, right? Well, we got that, but then we also got a few little tidbits that really sparked my interest in this whole conversation. So thank you, Teresa Judge, or Teresa Judge, Teresa Judge. Thank you, Teresa Giudice. She said her biggest regret from the show, it was how, sometimes she shows her mean face, especially like when she flipped the table. She doesn't like the way that she looks. And she said, anytime I flip a table nowadays, I'm always doing it with a smile on my face. I mean, listen, it went down in Bravo history. I think we're okay. Now, on the whole changing the show concept, she thinks that cast members must let go of the past and move forward rather than rehashing a lot of the old drama. I think that that's probably rich coming from any of them, any housewife. That's not just, I'm not only applying that to Teresa, but I feel like a lot of the housewives don't know how to let go of the old drama. Like, look at the whole, again, OC, like Gretchen Rossi, 17-year-old drama. It is still coming up and being rehashed. Look at the Valley when there wasn't a whole lot of storyline. So they wanted to talk about Jason Caperna allegedly not having his ring on one night at a bar 3 years before. That didn't make sense. Look at the information that's coming out now with the memoir about Brock's affair that should have been on season 10 or 11. Nobody wants that anymore. So a lot of times cast members will rehash the old drama and not figure out a way to move forward. That just happens. I think it's because it drives storyline in their mind. And probably because sometimes they don't have much more to talk about. But she has said multiple times that she accepts whatever Bravo decides, like if they want her back or if not, God's rejection is God's protection. She'll be fine with it. Now, when she was talking about her relationship with Joe, who we're going to get to here in a minute, but she said that Joe once told her, you're never going to find somebody that wants you with 4 kids. And she believed that at the time because she felt there was this overwhelming responsibility, like everything's on her. And I was that kind of mom. And she said, Joe did very little after their split, and there was a lot of burden on her. And she did that damn thing. You cannot take that away from Teresa Giudice. She did the damn thing. Like, she paid his restitution. She paid off a lot of the bills that needed to be paid after he went to prison. She worked her ass off. She was doing every single appearance. She was showing up on the show. She was up. If you ask any of her castmates and you ask Andy Cohen, she's never late. She doesn't complain about filming with people. She doesn't sit there and try to avoid anything. She just understands that it's a job. She shows up and she wants the paycheck, which is good. I'm sure it's a producer's dream at that point. But on any sort of potential reconciliation with Joe, Gorga, or Melissa, we're still leaning with that never say never after this whole heart-to-heart that she had with Gia during Special Forces, prompting her to like let go of her anger. And I know she said that time heals all wounds, but what I don't understand is how in the hell, which I've said this before, but how in the hell would we be able to even move forward if Bravo and I don't know if I totally believe this, but if Bravo moved you specifically to be in a different hotel, a Vegas hotel, so you would not run into Joe or Melissa, and you guys are not doing any sort of panels or anything together, how are you going to film a TV show together? Like, how are they going to shape that? That to me, like the math isn't there on that one. Unless you specifically asked for a different hotel. And, I was around the Real Housewives of Dubai in New York. Jason and I were. I think that they stayed at the Gansevoort in New York, I'm pretty sure. But even when they stayed at the Gansevoort and we were there, when the Dubai ladies arrived, they all got to their hotel rooms and they were like, "What the is this?" And so they were all scrambling to find different hotel rooms. Some of them did. Some of them went to like Equinox and other places. And some of them were just like, no, I guess this is kind of where we're at. And this is not up to par for us. Just like Kathy Hilton, she didn't stay at the Gansevoort. So sometimes they just stay in different places. They don't want to stay in the hotel that Bravo's paying for. And, it's not like the first time that we've ever heard that. But now getting into the whole blogger situation. She said that she once spoke to a blogger who lied about her and that betrayal changed how she engages with the media. She claims that she never sold stories, she never leaked anything, and she even offered to give Bravo full access to her laptop and her phone to prove that she hasn't violated any of her contract rules. But she is pretty much saying too that the bloggers are fans and she doesn't know why she trusted this person, but now she will never ever deal with bloggers again. Fans, bloggers, she's not going to trust them. The blogger term is offensive to a lot of content creators. I don't care if you call me a YouTuber, a podcaster, a content creator, a blogger. I mean, now that we have upandadamlive.com and we have articles and stuff going up, maybe you could say we check all of those boxes. I don't know. I don't care. It's not offensive. And for me, I'm always like a vault when I talk to any Bravo talent. I don't share their shit until it comes out on like page 6 or something. And even when I know things, I don't share what I know. I always just like keep it in because that's how I maintain my relationships. Some people though, they live for it and they get pissed and all of a sudden they feel like you're not giving them the attention that they want anymore. And they're going to do everything that they can to just try to destroy your life. I'm not saying that's what that specific blogger did, but yeah, they'll do that. And she regrets how she handled an interviewer asking about her tax issues because she hung up instead of flipping the script. And now she said she should have been a little bit more bold in her response. But at that moment, she didn't feel like it was worth that confrontation. And yeah, I mean, I probably would have hung up too, to be honest with you. And when it comes to Louis, she also doesn't like that people misjudge him when they don't know him. I haven't seen her with Louis in a while, though. Okay. Now, going over to Joe Giudice, he's been begging that he gets a presidential pardon after the Grizzlies got theirs. And he did say, "I'm surprised that you haven't gotten back to me yet," to the president. He has been public about this, begging for a pardon, saying that, well, nobody's answering him. And he said, "It's just because I want to be with my family. I want to return to the US to be with my daughters. So please help me do this." He's like, "I met you on The Apprentice. I'm surprised that you haven't gotten back to me. And, I know it was my fault that I didn't become a citizen, but he came in legally with a green card and that he served his time in prison and he has been deported for nearly a decade." So clearly he's being really urgent about this. And he said he's trying to fight to get back into America. But he's like, there's a lot of emotional toll on this. And he thinks he deserves a second chance for him and his family. I don't know. I don't know if saying like, "I'm surprised you haven't gotten back to me." I don't think that Joe Giudice is on the top of the list as far as like what the government right now is focusing on as far as like a pardon for him. But then a lot of people could say that about the Grizzlies as well. Who knows? Maybe he will, or maybe he'll wait till the end of the presidency and maybe he'll do it then. Maybe he won't do it at all. I'm curious to see how that plays out too. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget, hot, messy topics tomorrow, but today is Sunday. So Sunday fun day. Go have the best, most beautiful rest of your weekend. I hope you guys have a blast, but always stay safe. And then tomorrow, we get the premiere episode of the new Below Deck, which means Jason and Kelsey are back for Anchor Watch. and then we have OC in Miami to look forward to. So we'll see you soon. Love you guys. Bye. See you later.